Hey guys, Adam here. Welcome to my very first screencast. We're going to be talking about Django REST Framework, one of my favorite packages to work with. Um, and more specifically, we'll be talking about the basics of Django REST Framework, getting a REST API up and running from scratch. And hopefully just about 15 minutes or so we'll have something running. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to create an environment. We'll name it demo, and once we get in there, we will go ahead and activate that. Source bin activate. See what we got here. Okay, let's go ahead and pip install Django. Now, while that is installing, once we get our Django installed, the first thing we'll do is we will make sure that it's up and running. Then we will start getting into the Django REST framework installation and implementation. And so here we go. This is about to finish up. Okay, so first thing let's do is I'm going to create the project. Start project. We'll call this API demo. Okay, so now we will go into that API demo folder. So I'm going to open that up in Atom Editor. Okay, so here we go. We got Atom here, and we got a project. Okay, so let's go ahead and just make sure that the project is running. I'll be running here. So all right, we have our handy dandy Django welcome page. So let's go ahead and in here, let's we're running Django. So I'm gonna open that up. Direct demo. API demo. Okay, so let's go ahead and install Django REST Framework. Kind of has an unconventional pip package name. Okay, we got that there. We can go ahead and add this into our settings. Install apps. Let's call the REST Framework here. And then next thing we'll do is we're going to start getting into. So what I want to do in today's tutorial, I want to have an endpoint where we can go API kittens, right? And we want this to return the kittens that we have. So here, let's see, let's go ahead and the first thing we're going to do is the server needs to recognize, the server needs to recognize that this request is coming into API kittens, and it needs to direct it properly. So the first thing we need to do is set up something called a router. Routers.py. From REST framework.router, import router. And I don't remember the rest of this code, so we're just going to grab it from here. Okay. And bring up our add-on. Okay, and we want this. So this is what the URL is going to be named. We're going to call this kittens, and we're going to call it the kitten view set, which will come from animals.views kitten view set. Okay. First, before we get into view set, we're just going to get the URL running correctly. So here in our URL, let's go and clean up all this crap that Django put in there. And let's make an API. We'll make an API. So this is going to prefix all of our router stuff with the API. So here, from routers, import router. Okay. So I'm gonna go. Going to here, and I'm importing this router, which is kittens. So the URL is gonna be API / and then kittens. Let's see. No module named animals. Okay, so I have not created my application yet called animals. So we'll do that first. Okay, so now I have that. I also believe I need to add it into here. Animals, add it into installed apps. Okay, so this is what I wanted to see. This shows that the URL is set up correctly. It's going to API kittens and it's looking for this kitten view set. So that means that our router is routing properly. Let's put this over here. So we're going to look at this kitten view set. First, we need to create a kitten model, right? We need to have some data that we can pull up. So here, we're going to create the kitten model. Okay, let's just give it a few fields. Let's give it name. Max length, let's give this 15. And let's go color. And then let's go age, right? I'll do integer field. Okay, so now we have our model. It's not created in our database yet. Let's make migrations and see if this works. That looks pretty good so far. And now we have our database. So we have our kitten model now. Inside of our animals app, in our views, now that we have our URL set up correctly, in our views, we are going to create a kitten view set view. Model view set maybe? From REST framework.viewSet import model viewSet. Okay. Okay, so here, this is kind of, it's going to set some properties on the view that we're going to be displaying. So for instance, we could here do like filter color is equal to gray, right? But we don't want to do that. That would filter everything with just the gray cats. We might come back and show you a little example here in a few minutes. But for now, we're just going to do kitten.objects.all. Don't forget to import that kitten. Import that kitten model. Let's see what we got now. Okay, so this shows that now it's looking for a serializer, so that shows that the view is in fact intact correctly. So let's go ahead and go one step further and set the serializer, which is what tells the view how to render the information. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in a few minutes as well. But let's give this a serial class of kitten serializer. Serializers, import kitten serializer, and here let's create a new serializers.py from REST framework .serializers import model serializer, and let's hope that that is correct. Okay, so we got our kitten serializer now. But the main thing that the serializer needs, if we just do this, let's see if this shows. It's looking for a meta attribute. The main thing that the serializer needs is it needs to know which model we are talking about. So let's tell it that we're working with the kitten model. Again, from models import kitten. We need to import that kitten model. And then let's see what it tells us. It does not tell us anything because it is working. Here we have the browsable API that's provided by Django REST framework out of the box, which is amazing. It really helps you like visualize the data. And so here we can see that we have no data. So let's go ahead and make one. We'll make the first guy called Fluffy. We'll make her white, and we'll make her 2 years old. Okay, and just for fun, let's go ahead and create another one called Smokey, and we'll make him black. I'm 3, a little bit older. Okay. So now if we go to this API kittens, we can see we have these two data. We have these two kittens, these two kitten objects. We can also see this in JSON, so we can just see the raw data, as well as we can even see this if we curl. So if we curl this endpoint, we can see this data right here, as well as we can check for one. That's checking for the primary key, the ID. Why does it not like me? Does that work? Curl. Okay, so if we look at 1, that'll give us just this first object, just this one object, which is pretty cool. Okay, let's get out of that. So yeah, we have a list. We can check out one by one, searching by ID. And that is the working API. We can even delete. So we're on this one object. We can even delete this right here. And you can see that Fluffy is eliminated, terminated, destroyed, and now we only have Smokey. So I'd like to show you a few things. Here we can also do, like, if we don't want to show a field, we can if we don't want to show what field, if we don't want to show the color field, we can save that in the serializer, and now that color is not there. As well as, just a basic filter in the view. If we just filter to color is equal to white, hopefully the Smokey guy's not going to show up. He's not showing up, and if we just want to show black, hopefully Smokey's there. And Smokey is back. Yeah, so let's just do a little recap of what we just learned. So first thing that we do is we set up the URL. The server needs to know where to route to. So if we go to API, so we have this API and we're including the router URLs. The router comes from REST framework, and so we're putting in kittens, and that is directing to the kitten view set, which is here. We can see right now it's filtered to be black. We can change that, and it's showing that the serializer is the kitten serializer, which is right here, and we're excluding color in that serializer. And that is an overview of what we learned and what you need to do to get a Django REST framework up and running. Hopefully you learned something. If not, tune in next time. We'll be talking about some more stuff, more in depth, and I will see you then.